Hello all, I'm back with another recap video for my day's play. I was finally able to push up to legendary tier and collect the rank just from it. Not that it will help me in unlocking the tech which I need, but that's okay. In terms of the tech, what I ended up doing since yesterday was I opened up barrage and I maxed it out. I also picked up Simo as a proto node, and then I also picked up artillery, and I did have enough tokens left over to max it out too. And the next one which I'm looking for is building damage, and unfortunately I'm one key short on that, so we'll have to collect the next chest, hopefully in legendary if I can, and then see whether when I can really start to push again. In terms of the log, not too bad. I was quite close to the legendary rank a bit before too, but unfortunately I did suffer a big loss of 2 seconds against a rank 23, which was a lot of stars. And then I lost out again. I did not manage the hit very well. But since then, my hits have been generally okay. So let's go through a few quick replays. So I'm sticking to using bombers and laser combo for the bulk of my hits. I've tried experimenting with other hits too, with HCRC, with just bombers as well. I just favor the lasers, I think, but the risk always is that since they are so fragile in their troop health, they can die off quite quickly, so you do have to be quite careful. And sometimes one bad salvo, say from a rocket launcher, or a bunch of mines, etc., they can really pretty much kill off a whole bunch of laser ranges and slow down your overall time. And now, since I do have max Bart, I do try to finish off an ER with the barrage and artillery where possible, or if I have troops nearby, then they can do the final bits. And then I use the artillery on the remaining ERs. This one, again, a nice spread 7-year layout. This player opted to use Hotpot instead of the Simo in that proto node. It is always interesting because a lot of the players are playing bombers, but I'm guessing he's more protecting against seekers, which I don't really know whether just adding a Hotpot will make a difference or not, but probably it does for him. I'm still letting my troops work their way up and trying to get them to a position where I can do a bit of reflaring. So I'm going to wait for the CR and the rocket launcher to go down, but I didn't need to do too much reflaring on this one because I did end up managing a nice split with 2 bombers on the bottom right side. So that's why I probably didn't do a full reflare to get the troops more collected, but luckily enough the timing was just about right to get the win. 2-minute 12. Start speeding up the hits a little bit now, and because the pattern of my hits is practically the same, because the layouts although having a bit of differences, but the general pattern that I'm trying to follow now is quite straightforward. I'm trying to get the troops to kill down the remaining ERs and then finally being able to BART out an ER as well. It is still a bit tight on GBE, so sometimes you do have to wait until the final ER goes down, because obviously you're using GBE for the second wins, for mine clearing, etc. And then against Rebel, who's a fantastic player. Looking forward to seeing more of his hits and seeing him rank up, because he definitely has the right skills, and now getting to the right tech also to go along with that. He did have a slightly different base, so my drop was slightly different, but in the end it kind of was similar in terms of the overall hit. I was able to BART out an ER, which definitely saves the troop from walking over, getting it done over there, and does add a few bonus seconds for my time. Then against the Chinese player, a bit slow on this. I did end up losing a lot more of my lasers on this one. And that's the thing with laser ranges. Sometimes if you do end up losing even like 5 or 6, that just compounds the effect. But in this case, I did actually end up losing a lot. I actually thought that I would be losing out on time, but luckily I was able to win it. But was very, very tough to do consistent times every single hit, every single base, because of the variations of the luck in how the troops are moving. This one, same 158 time, got a draw, so I'll skip over this one. And I was lucky that it was a draw and not a loss, otherwise I would have been back to queuing up for the legendary boss fights. This one is also a nice spread out layout, kind of having similar sort of defenses like me, including the Simo over here. And I'm again going to wait until I take down the CR, and then I can reflare. The Simo is kind of like out of range for the defenses on the left side, so that can be ignored. Then just using barrage and artillery to finish off the final ER. And this was my boss fight. I was again unsure whether I would win or not. Yes, this player had 2 more protos as well as a mine node on top of me. The 2 protos being the Doom Cannon as well as a Flotty. I see a lot of people using Flotty. Some people also use Microwaver. So I guess that's dependent upon what you think is best for your base. It's taking a while to start the replay, but yeah, finally, here we go. And I'm going to again use the same hit, letting the bombers take out one of the ERs and letting the laser rangers focus on the remaining side. I think overall this time wasn't too bad, because anything over 2 minutes is quite good, especially against like a fully maxed out base like this, which has the DBD, has the extra protos. And over here, I was able to manage the hit well. Now, since he had a Flotty and I had bombers left over, I tried to move as many troops away from the Flotty area, although it did kill all the laser rangers over there. But luckily, the bombers were in the right spot, which I was able to identify earlier, and then just finish the base with barrage and artillery. In terms of next, I think I'll definitely just try to get to DBD, and hopefully that should start to beef up my defenses. I think I will probably drop down to diamond, but that's okay, because after that it would be just a race to the final protos, as well as picking up some of the multi-nodes. I earlier thought that I should maybe even try for bullet and see some Seeker hits, but I think the bases are really dirty now with the extra DPT and all the protos, so I don't think that would be the right choice for me. But maybe towards the end, if Seekers are still viable, I'll give that a go. But I'll probably need smoke also for that, so let's see. Hope this was useful, folks. All the best for your push, and see you in Warships.